Tia.
Hey, I'm Tia Gostelow.
I'm Hope D.
And we're interviewing each other.
Yeah, I can ask some questions. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
That's my shopping list. I see you're doing Sugar Drop Fest.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Cool.
Sugar Drop is my first ever, I guess, festival that I'm putting on in my hometown of Mackay. Mm-hmm. It's been something that I've wanted to do for years, and it's just finally felt right to do it this year after COVID and everything.
Of course. Yeah. And the lineup is killer.
Yeah, it's really cool. Betty Ray's are playing, Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers, Amber Farnan and Mountain Adir.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When you go, do you get to stay with like family or like old family?
Yeah, well, my family still lives in Mackay, so I'll probably stay with my boyfriend at his house.
Fun.
Because my parents live like half an hour out of town, and it's not fun when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Don't want to sit in a taxi for half an hour.
Yeah, that's really clever. That like makes me think that I should like eventually buy places in every town and then put on festivals there, just so I can stay there after.
Imagine.
That's good.
I know you just finished up your Hate Goodbyes tour. How did it feel being back on the road and playing shows?
So good, like so good. You forget how go it is.
Yeah.
It felt like we didn't really have too much time to like party, which I thought the whole time it'd be just like party, which it was not. And like I thought that I'd have to be like texting the band, being all like, "Hey guys, don't be mad. I'll be at the airport at 8 a.m. Don't worry. Just like pack my bags for me." You know what I mean?
I love it.
I know, but it wasn't like that. But it was so much fun meeting everybody and being able to like play shows to all these people that I like met last year when I was doing like the solo tour.
Yeah.
And touring with a band. So chaotic.
So fun.
So
you had like
funny.
3 bands on two other bands with you.
Yeah, Platonic Sex and Noah Dylan. It was so lovely.
Did you go to towns that you haven't been to before?
Yes, Perth, Hobart, Bendigo, like the whole Groove and Run.
Love
which
it.
was so cool. Not that like you literally only see inside the car, the festival, and then the Airbnb, But it was cool to see Perth and Hobart.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love to go
Hobart
back.
is like one of my favourite cities.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you get to stay there long, like when you went?
Yeah, I've done a few shows there
Cool.
before, and I've been on holidays down there with my family, but
Sick.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold?
Very cold.
Yeah.
Very, very cold.
What did you think of me when we first met? And
I loved you.
Yeah.
The first time we met actually was at Mountain Goat Valley Crawl.
Yes.
Not last year, the year before.
Uh-huh.
And we were at Kick-Ons, and Kale introduced us. And
Yes.
I remember there was one of those vending machines with the
cake.
in it, and we bonded over that, and we
Yeah.
just like hung out the whole night.
It was so fun.
It was really fun.
It was so good to like meet you because like Bridget and I had been in that music video.
Yeah.
And we had never
met.
spoken.
Yeah.
Never met. And then meeting you, I was like, this surely isn't the same person who's writing all these incredible songs.
stop.
Not that I assumed that you'd be like not amazing, but you're amazing. And you're the type of person like me that's like, who wants a shot? I'm paying.
Yeah.
Put your money away. It was so fun. And that night, like I went home and there was just two jars of cake in my front pockets and 2 jars in my back pockets. And I was walking like this.
Well, they were free.
They were free. Why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly.
It was amazing. If I had fallen on my ass or forward, I would just be cake splat everywhere.
Cake everywhere.
Caked.
That's such a fun story. And
I
I just
know.
remember there was lots of like screaming, like, "Oh my God, I love you," like the whole night.
Literally.
It was awesome.
It was the best.
I know people probably ask what the biggest show you've played is, but I'd love to know if there was a show in particular that was personal and memorable for you, and why.
Nice. I'd have to say one of them would be like Laneway 2020 because that was like the first festival we've ever done, and it was Laneway, and I only had swim out. I know, it's so crazy, right? And it was like right before COVID as well. But that was crazy because like there was still a crowd there, and like no one really knew me, but they would still like stand and listen and like bob their heads, and that was just like this could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. But then, COVID hit, and then I'd say like the best and like most personal show after that would be like, I actually like played a house concert in Perth, and I feel like those are just so much more intimate, and like there was just you couldn't hear like a pin drop and everyone was listening. Which I find is like so much nicer because they're actually listening.
I find it so daunting.
It's scary. It's so scary, right?
I'm way more nervous playing for like maybe 5 people than I would be like 100.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Have you done like one of those like really intimate kind of?
Yeah. I used to do like parlour gigs all the time.
Sick.
Yeah, which was really fun.
What's parlour?
It's like where they go, I think parlour's like where they go to houses.
Oh, yeah.
So like people can host I think maybe I'm getting them confused, but I think that's parlour.
Kind of like sofa sounds or something.
Yeah.
That
is
so
people
sick.
can like host them at their houses, which is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where would you move to in Australia? Only Australia, if you had to move out of Brisbane?
Hobart.
Oh, amazing.
Without a doubt. I would love to live in Tasmania.
Amazing. Okay.
I've always lived in really hot. I lived in the Northern Territory and like in North Queensland. And I hate the heat.
Yeah.
I hate it. So I'd rather live somewhere where it's snowing.
Nice.
Yeah, would love to live there.
In terms of wider Australia now, because that was an amazing answer, where would you want to live? Like, because you've been going around, like you went to America recently.
Do you mean outside of Australia?
Outside of Australia, yeah.
I really loved New York.
Yeah? Reckon you could live there?
Yeah, I think I could.
Nice.
Yeah. Or even Nashville. I really like Nashville.
Dope. Yeah, I see that. Okay. How were they? How was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got back from going to America for 3 weeks. So I did New York for a week, Nashville for a week, LA for a week, which was really cool.
Such a good sandwich of things.
Yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
awesome. They were all such different places.
Yeah.
Like New York is obviously so condensed. And then Nashville is just like, I was living out my childhood dreams of being in the country around cowboys, you know, going to the Johnny Cash Museum, which was awesome. And then LA is just amazing. Like it's just, everywhere's so different. Like it's really, really cool. And like we went and saw Haim play at the Hollywood Bowl, which was awesome. And made sure we did little things like that to really get the experience, I guess. We got a Mustang in Nashville. I didn't drive it though, my mum did.
True.
But it was really cool to be in it.
Yeah? Would you have driven it? Oh, it's on the other side.
Yeah. No.
Crazy.
No. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
So fair.
Who has been the most important person in your career to date and why?
They've always changed. So like first of all, it was Ed Sheeran. And you know, I don't cringe saying that now, but I like kind of cringe saying that now.
Mate, mine was Taylor Swift.
No, I'm not cringing. That's amazing. Mine is Taylor Swift.
Oh, I love it. I'm not cringing either.
No, that's great. No, but it's like it changed to like Hosier because of his like lyricism and some of his songs. And then it became like Hobo Johnson with the way that he like delivers, like really cynical and satirical, and like the way he like sings, and he just like doesn't care, but he's so passionate about what he's saying, even if it's just the word butter. You know what I mean? He'll say it so passionately. And then lately I've just been listening to a lot of like Phoebe Bridgers and like...
Me too.
Yes, how good.
I love her.
Fucking love her.
Obsessed.
So
Obsessed.
good. Yeah, I've been like, and like Boy Genius kind of stuff and all that, yeah.
I'm glad you like Phoebe. I've just like fallen into...
A big Phoebe hole.
Yeah, the big Phoebe hole.
Yes.
Her lyrics are so good.
Who else have you been listening to?
Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah, nice.
That's it really, and a bit of maybe Sharon Van Etten I've been really liking.
Nice.
Oh, Big Thief.
Nice.
Khruangbin, like really loving that kind of stuff at the moment.
Is Big Thief coming soon?
Yes.
Are you going?
Well, yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need to save up a bit of money before.
Yeah.
But I'd love to. And Arlo Parks. Arlo Parks is coming.
Yes, no, I've got the ticket screen on my laptop.
Just waiting.
Just waiting for myself to be like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll see you there then.
Yes. Okay, cool. This is just a silly one. When you're in the spa, if you're in a spa hot tub, bubbles on or off?
On.
Okay.
For a bit.
For a bit. Okay, that's a good answer.
And then you turn it off.
The more I've asked this question, the more I think my answer changes. It used to be off, and I was like, yeah, I'm different. So I'm going to ask this and surprise everyone.
I feel like you like, it's like cool for a bit, and then you're just like, I'm off it.
Yeah, and you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
And yeah. And it's just like too much.
I love that question.
I love that answer.
What's the wildest thing you've ever seen in a green room rider?
Oh, like in one that you rock up for yourself, or like just in general?
Well,
like,
it could be both.
Totally.
If you see other people's riders, I guess.
No, I guess I don't see. Probably, I think I was meant to make like an Instagram page to like keep them all, like take pictures and rate them out of 10. But I think the most wildest one would be when we played River Stage, they like supplied everything. We have like such a stupid rider. Like, just all these bottles of alcohol, and then like sushi platter, sandwich platter, cheese platter, charcuterie board, like chips and dips, and like all that
everything
kind of
you
stuff.
could ever want and more.
Yeah, and then they gave it to us, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. But I've heard that like people take containers when they go play. So like if after you just pack it all away.
I've never done that, but
Never done that? You just leave it there?
Well, most of the time it's always eaten.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
We never usually get like our full rider.
Yeah. True.
But I'm guilty of taking like alcohol.
Of course.
As if you wouldn't. Though.
I have like 30 bottles of half drank. Like,
I've got
gin.
a whole alcohol cupboard full of stuff I never touch anymore.
You have to take it.
I know.
What's yours?
Well, after doing like Sugar Drop, like obviously I see like all the band's writers.
True.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about other band's writers, but I know that, well, I'm going to tell anyway.
Yeah.
Teen Jesus they won a framed picture of Jack Black from School of Rock in their green room, which I love. I'm definitely going to do it for them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I always get too nervous to like ask.
For things like that?
Yeah.
But that's essential.
Yeah, maybe I haven't done it before.
What would you ask for? Or do you want, like, would you need more time to think about something like that?
I definitely need more time
to think. Totally, right? I've heard, like, you know, like a CD of the movie, I don't know, Footloose or something. Yeah. I don't know, one of those kind of things.
We do ask for Hydrolite.
Oh, that's great.
And Powerade and stuff. I think that's essential.
That's really clever.
Hydrolite has been my saviour since turning 22.
Yes, yes. That is so good.
It's really saved me.
It just reminds me of, like, all throughout tour, Jenna would do this thing. If we went to the toilet together, I'd be peeing and then she'd be like, it'd be like a whole thing full of people and she'd be like, Hope Sweetie, how are your hemorrhoids? Do you need your hemorrhoid cream? And I'd be like, oh. And I'd just play along. I'd be like, they're doing really well, Jenna, thank you so much. or like I'd go in while she's like either like tuning someone or like in the toilet. I'd be like, Jenna, sweetie, how's your raging diarrhea?
I love that. I love it. I love it. Also, I haven't heard the word tuning in a really long time.
Yeah, totally right.
Is that what people still call it?
No.
No?
I'm sorry.
Maybe it was a thing of like when we were in school, you
literally
would tune someone.
On the tune.
On the tune.
On the tuna sandwich. It's so stupid.
I'm glad that you know about I thought maybe it was just like a North
Mandela
Queensland. No, I thought it was just like a regional Queensland thing.
True.
But obviously not.
No, it was a private girl school thing too. Yeah. So
I love it. I love it.
Do you find it easier to write songs about happy things or sad things?
Sad things.
Yeah.
But in saying that, when I went to America, I made like a real effort to like try and steer clear from writing about sad things.
Right.
And like I made sure like I read a lot of books before I went over. So I had a lot of other content to write about other than just like
True.
being in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend. I'm like, I wrote a whole album about that. I can't keep flogging a dead horse, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I've been like trying to like take inspiration from books and like podcasts and other people's misfortunes around me.
That's so cool. Have you written any Have you written any songs like based on stories from two other characters? Like,
yeah, well, I wrote a song called it's about this book called Before You Knew My Name.
Cool.
And that's what the song is called at the moment. But
nice.
It's just about, it's a morbid story, but it's just about these two girls that moved to New York at the same time. And one of them was murdered and the other one found the body. Like, it's really dark.
Oh, yeah.
But it had really interesting elements of like how women feel unsafe, like just like going for a walk or something. And I really wanted to touch on that and write about how like men just can sometimes, and women as well, can just like not let you, like they don't want consent or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And sometimes it can be really difficult to like say no. So yeah, it's a very deep topic. Yeah. But I was a bit scared because I read that book and I went to New York. Yeah. And it was like about Central Park as well. So
true. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, that's amazing. I'm keen to hear it. That's really cool. I remember like my mind opening up to like songwriting like that when I heard when I was at an Ed Sheeran concert, and Jamie, his name is Jamie. It'll come to me. He's like, he opened for Ed Sheeran. I think he has that song that's like dun 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 dun, and then it goes. Oh my god! You know the one that's like based on that movie movie Up. Like it's kind of like it's like that heartbreaking story.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought, and that's when I knew, okay, this is going terribly. Rah, 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 rah. Basically, this song that he was singing, he described it as, this song's about when you love someone so much that you want to kill them. And like, it's actually about him, like, not him, but like hypothetically, like putting your hands around someone's neck because you love them so much. And like, which is so interesting. And I think that opened me up to like the darker side of songwriting, which is really cool.
I actually wrote a song called Killing You
Cool.
with Sarah Aarons and Rob Milton, which was like a really amazing session. But it's like such a pretty song, but like I guess the context of it is also kind of like going back to that book, like Before You Knew My Name.
Yep.
I was kind of talking about how like women feel unsafe, but also like when I was working at the Triffid when I first moved to Brisbane, I wouldn't finish until like maybe 3 a.m. in the morning sometimes, and I'd like walk to my car with my keys in my hand.
Of course.
So like we kind of added elements of that into the song, but kind of also made it like, I'm sure there's, in everybody's mind, there's always like one person that they've thought about, like, I just want to kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a negative thing, but like,
no.
Like you were saying, when you love someone so much, you just kind of like,
Yeah. That's so cool. On that, is it like a upbeat sounding song?
Yeah.
Yes, I love that
Yeah.
you can, like, you could just like dance to a song and then actually like sit back and look at the lyrics
Yeah.
and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's so
I kind of
beautiful.
like wanted it to sound a little bit like Beach Boy by Benny.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm
it's kind of
excited.
like that kind of sound, but it's got, pretty like dark undertones to it, I guess, lyrically.
Yes, which is super beautiful.
Yeah.
On that, when is your next release? Are you planning anything?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I came back from America and I reckon I've got about like 25 songs sitting there.
Sick.
But it just doesn't feel right yet. Like I just don't know
Totally.
what I want my next sound to be like, and I also don't just want to release something for the sake of releasing something. And if that means like another year or two without releasing anything, then it's going to be a year or two. Yeah, I don't really want pressure anymore. I think it's important to like release things that you're really obsessed with and that you really love. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
That's so good.
Maybe I'll have a single by the end of the year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Are you releasing anything else soon?
I think I've got a single at the beginning of July.
Next month?
June. Yeah, next month.
We're in June.
Isn't that so crazy? Beginning.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Are you doing like an EP or an album or anything?
Yeah, it's going to be part of that.
Ooh,
that
exciting.
might be secret, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Fuck the secrets. It's exclusive.
I love it. Touring isn't as glamorous as most people think, so I was wondering if there was anything that you do to make sure you're looking after yourself mentally and physically while touring.
Totally. That is so good that you asked that. So basically, things that I've learnt after tour to do that.
Yeah.
Because the first tour, and I knew the first tour wasn't going to be like glamorous or like, I was going to be like not drinking and like making sure that everything was all good and getting sleep in. I knew that it was going to be pretty hectic, and it was.
Yeah.
So now I know things to do. I'll tell you like three big things that happened like on tour that were like
The most recent one?
Yeah. Not too hectic, but like Ainsley had this blister on her foot from like 2 nights before we left, and it was just like super chill. It was a little blister, and then we got to Groove in the Moo, and we were driving for like 2 hours, and Ainsley was like not talking, and we're like, oh yeah, she's car sick.
Yeah.
Let's put the music down. Then we get there, and Ainsley's like pale in the face, and she's like, yeah, I don't feel that good. And she's like so quiet. She's such a little sweetheart. She doesn't like say when she's like feeling awful. And she's like, yeah, it's like there's a blister on my foot, and I think that's what it is. And we got this nurse to come over, and she came over. She's like, babe, you gotta go to hospital. Like it was infected.
Really?
And so we were all like, oh, are you okay, Ainsley? This is pretty hectic. She did the set sitting down. I carried her on and off stage on my back.
Oh my God.
She's such a trooper. And then after she went to the hospital, got antibiotics, felt so much better. While she was away, I was drinking tequila in the green room, and then I went to have dinner, and we had a spare food ticket, so I got chicken and salmon, and I was like, no. And then I had this, and then Brando looks at me, and she's like, Hope, are you allergic to anything? And I'm like, not that I know of. And then they took a photo of my face, and I'm like flared up, like red patchy, like allergic reaction to a tea. And then they made me go to the medic tent. I was like, guys, I'm fine. Like I don't feel anything. I just feel a bit spicy in the face. But that was probably the salmon.
Oh my God.
It was so funny. And then we get to the medic tent, and they took my blood pressure and like made sure like everything was okay. And they're like, yeah, like everything is perfectly normal. And I'm like, apart from this, how is everything perfectly normal? That's information that's false. And while I was sitting at the medic tent, I looked to my right, and there's like this chick that came to the signing tent, and I had just signed her boob.
Oh really?
And then I was like, what are you in for? And she was like, oh, I got headbutted in the crowd. What are you in for? And I'm like, allergic reaction.
What a day.
Funny. I know. They gave me an antihistamine, which made me like fucked.
Oh really?
In a good way. And then after that, we went to this Airbnb. This is like all in one day. We went to our Airbnb, and we get there, and everyone's already there. And they're like, guys, this place is like haunted. And we're like, don't fucking say that right now. It is late at night. It's been a big day. I do not want some spirits in here. And basically the reasons that it was haunted was because upstairs in every room there were like these stickers of Winnie the Pooh, but they had all been ripped in half, like off the walls. And then also like holes in the walls that had been like patched up, and some hadn't been patched up. And then every single bed that you slept in, either if it was right when you got in it or like in the middle of the night or like at the end of the like when we were leaving, it would turn to a taco and it would just go boom, and like one of them went off in the middle of the night and we're just like, fuck.
Oh no.
Terrifying. And I dropped my phone in the toilet.
Oh my God.
All in one day. All in one day.
Where was this?
Bendigo. Never again.
Oh my God.
I know.
Did you figure out what you were allergic to?
No.
Do you think it was the salmon?
I think it was the cold and the tequila and
like all
the
of
salmon
the above.
and the chicken. Yeah, literally. And just like, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's wild.
But it was cold.
So you've learnt a lot.
Learnt a lot. And I think that's all that kind of happened that was like hectic and it was all in one day.
Yeah.
But unless there was, no. What's the craziest tour story that you've had? Well,
I guess it was probably when I went to Europe. I think I was like maybe just 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
I went over for my first ever tour overseas, and honestly I was like miserable before I went. Like I was like not coping well mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And like I ended up losing my voice, so I had to cancel
True.
a lot of shows. So it wasn't great to start with, but our last show was in Amsterdam, and obviously when in Amsterdam I did what you do in Amsterdam.
Yes.
And I'd obviously had a very stressful trip, but yeah, did what you do in Amsterdam, and the next morning I woke up. I had like the most vivid dreams of my life, like tossing and turning all night. Like my bandmates couldn't sleep because I was just like talking in my sleep. My dream was that I was at like a concert. Lady Gaga was singing, she was singing Shallow, and got my boyfriend up to sing with her, and then I got jealous, so I got up on stage with them, and then he sang Shallow better than I did, and then we ended up breaking up. Like it was weird. And then the next morning I woke up and I had like all of these spots all over me. I'm like, shit, like do I have like chicken pox? Like how, like I'm not going to be able to fly back to Australia because we're flying back the next day. And I'm like, nah, I've just got to like cover it up. I don't think it's chicken pox, but it's like something weird is going on. I landed into Melbourne because we were going on to a ballpark, and my mum had flown down because it was such a traumatic trip for me.
Yeah.
And went to the doctor, and the doctor like just looked at me and he's like, do you meditate? And I'm like, no. Why? He's like, well, this is stress acne, like you need to like look after yourself. And I think it was like the dream that set it off.
Wow.
Like it was so weird.
That is
such
crazy.
I didn't realize you could like be like physically like affected by like stress that much.
Yeah.
That's where that question came from.
No,
because
that's great.
That like trip was just like lost my voice.
Yeah.
I got stress acne. Like I had to get like hardcore like cream to get rid of.
True.
It. Yeah. It was weird.
Like have you learnt things from that tour to take care of yourself and mentally and physically?
Definitely. Like you just need to obviously like take time for yourself if you're not feeling great. But it also kind of made me, I don't know, I feel like going over there, I went over there at a time where like I was selling out venues here.
Yeah.
And like I was on a bit of a high from like my album and all of that stuff, and then I went over to Europe and there were like literally 2 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And like some of the shows, I remember like we played in maybe it was Birmingham or Manchester, but no one had bought tickets, so we ended up just having to support like another band that night.
True.
And like I really let it get to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm like, why am I doing so well in Australia and I've come over here and like I'm such a failure, and like you see other bands touring overseas and they're playing to like sold out rooms and stuff. And so I just got into my head, I'm like, you're like a failure, like why did you even come over here? And then at like halfway through the trip I like shifted my perspective. I'm like, it's actually really cool that I'm over here and 2 people have come to this show and know who I am.
Totally.
And like singing my songs, like even if it's just one person, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like and by the end of it, like I just really learnt that you just can't compare yourself to people. And I know it's like a really tough industry to not do that in.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of just like living on social media all the time. But
absolutely.
Definitely learnt to just not compare and just be honest about how you're feeling.
Yeah. No, it's so like interesting to hear that, and it makes so much sense. And like me nodding my head when you're like, I'm a failure. I'm not saying like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I completely understand how you feel. It's like, especially like it's like completely different, but me starting a lot of my career, I guess, like during COVID and like selling out COVID shows, massive high, right?
Yeah.
And then it comes back to like full capacity, and it's like can't even get like 70 tickets in like this city or like, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's just like comparing myself to myself even, which is
Yeah.
like wrong, and like others, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, but like I think flipping your mindset is the best thing you can do,
Yeah.
and just remembering why you're doing this because
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're playing to 0 people, like 100, like you're still gonna have fun.
You still get to do this with like your amazing band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I also find like it can be hard as well, like the whole, like the whole cycle, like you're either in your album cycle, your touring cycle. I've like I've been in my like writing cycle, part of the cycle for like 2 years, and like I feel like it can be really hard to just sit there and like watch. I think it's like other people getting on festival lineups and stuff like that, and sometimes you're like, oh, that would be really cool, but you have to just like remind yourself everyone's like they're at different points
of their cycle
and career. Like you just need to be like so excited for everyone. Like we've had such a shit 3 years. Like it's so cool that we've even got festivals.
Yeah.
And like shows coming back.
So right, and I feel like our appreciation and perspective has changed so much because of it as well. Yeah. Yeah. And just remembering that, like, being so happy, because it's so easy to get jealous and so easy to like, get in your head.
And I feel like it's not talked about enough. Like people just,
It's not.
It's not. Like I feel like it's like a normal feeling to be jealous of.
Oh yeah.
Like lineups and stuff. Like I think it's a normal feeling.
It's normal, and it's good because it means that you know that they're doing well, which is nice. Yeah. But then you just got to flip that to make it appreciation.
Yeah,
instead of
100%.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Which is super nice.
Yeah.
Which brings me to, what is your ideal breakfast?
My ideal breakfast. I love like breakfast bowls.
Yes.
Like brown rice. Cauliflower, like turmeric cauliflower.
Yes.
Avocado. Like pickled cabbage, red cabbage.
Yes.
Yeah, all of that kind of stuff.
Love it. Do you make these or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's yours?
I've been having Wheat Bix, like hardcore.
I've never had Wheat Bix.
Really?
No.
What do you think that you'll think of it if you have
I don't know. It looks really dry, but I think
dry.
it's probably because I've seen people like don't eat it with a lot of milk. I don't know.
Oh my God, I drown mine. And it's so funny because it's like never eat soggy Wheat Bix. I always eat soggy Wheat Bix.
I'm not a real big cereal person.
No, fair enough. Neither am I. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But it's fun. I put chia seeds on it. I like it.
You put what on it?
Chia seeds.
Oh, they said cheese sticks.
A couple of stringers, bit of cheddar, bit of feta. That's so good. It's my breakfast bowl.
Oh, God.
No, I'm going to do that though. That sounds amazing.
Delicious.
Not the cheese, the breakfast bowl.
What's your go-to process for writing a song?
It changes all the time. I either have like the chords and then write lyrics. Actually, I think I've been mostly starting with chords and lyrics. I don't know.
It changes.
It changes so hard. Hey, recently it's been like I've been feeling so much, so I'm just like get it out and like straight away.
Yeah.
It's like lyrics pour out of me, and then like I'm less confident with chords.
Same.
So less confident.
I just use G,
literally.
G, E minor.
I recently got into D tuning.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so good. It's so different.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I'm not repeating myself.
Yeah,
I kind of am. It's so interesting. What is your process? By the way?
I'm the same.
Oh,
like
okay,
it depends. Like if I'm writing with someone else, if I'm feeling really sad that day, it really depends. But mostly, like I like to have chords first, but then I like other people to have the chords, not me, because I use the same chords.
I can't even agree. With more. That's amazing. Interesting question. Do you keep your room clean, or do you have like a wardrobe, or like how do you like your room?
A wardrobe.
Wardrobe, like wardrobe on the floor.
I am a neat freak.
Nice.
Like absolutely neat freak. Like have to make my bed every morning. My wardrobe's color coordinated.
Beautiful.
Yeah. My whole house is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad my roommate's the same.
That's
because
so
I just
good.
couldn't cope if I had a wardrobe.
Yeah.
Or if my roommate had a wardrobe, I'd have to close the door so I didn't have to look at it.
Like messy room makes you happy. Hey,
what about
amazing.
you?
Like same. As of recently.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
It does feel
it's
good.
Amazing.
It feels great.
Yeah. That was really fun.
Thanks.
I love that.